I literally made a pull right by the house and blew it up. I don't know the damage yet, but the motor's definitely roasted. Oh no! We knew this day would come. I've been saying it for a long time, waiting, and last night, actually 2 nights ago, lost the motor. Well, at least we were very close to home. I literally made a pull right by the house and blew it up. I don't know the damage yet, but the motor's definitely roasted. If I had to guess, it looks like cylinders 3 and 4, or in between, maybe rod number 4. Yeah, bummer. I mean, I knew this might come. The problem is it overboosted a little bit, hit boost cut, and it was like hit boost cut, and that was it. It just roasted it. Probably broke a rod bolt or broke a rod. I mean, we kind of specialize in being sketchy. You ready? I forgot to film this because I'm really bad, so we're just gonna keep doing this here. Inch by inch. Oh, there goes the coolant. I'm gonna stick a pallet underneath this one. We'll come down a little bit. Ready? Yeah. So we got the motor out. Obviously it threw a rod, so it was a mess. I don't know if we can see from this side. Oh yeah, you can. So it was number 4. And it broke the rod right in the center, right at the weakest point. Both sides, it's windowed, unfortunately. But you know, if you're gonna blow it up, might as well blow it up. Everything else looks good though. We pulled the valve cover, everything looks okay there. The spark plug was okay. So the rod broke probably on the downstroke. Otherwise it would have sent the piston straight up into the head. So I think we're good on that aspect of it. I know these motors have a really big chamber though, so I don't know if the valves and whatnot are going to be wrecked. Well, I'm not super concerned. I went and picked up another motor from Ben's Miata parts. It's a really sick motor. It's a 03 VVTi bottom end with a 99 head. So it has the better VVTi oil pump. It has a better thrust setup in it, and overall just better bottom end. And then the 99 head cams and all that flow the best. So it was already modified. Somebody already swapped it over. It had ARP studs and all that, but we blew it apart into pieces and it's getting built now. I dropped it off at my buddy Carlos's spot, and he broke it down right there in front of me in 30 minutes. Everything was good. It looked like the motor was ran for like 20 miles and then the car was crashed. So Ben ended up getting this motor that was really good. I probably should have just thrown it in the car the way it was, but it was high compression and some other things, and I figured it was best to just build the motor once and kind of be done with it. But I'll show you guys some of the parts we got. We got some parts we're going to upgrade while we are in there with the motor. Mala sent us a bunch of parts, a valve cover gasket. Basically, these are all just seal kit and all that. ARP bolts, which we have ARP bolts in the motor we bought. I didn't know. If they're good and haven't been stretched, we'll just reuse them and keep these in the box. I got a Gates timing belt, 2 tensioners, lower gasket kit. We're doing this in a rush, so some of the parts are brands that aren't as ideal, but ACL bearings, coated, Gates water pump, which we probably won't even use because the last one had an OEM Mazda water pump that was brand new, and it, like, literally the guy must have crashed the car within 20 miles. So if you're watching this and you had a 2003 bottom end, 99 head Miata that was wide body and some other stuff and you crashed it, thanks for your motor, I appreciate it. Manly rods, and I needed a new lower radiator hose, which they are 2 pieces in this car normally, but you can just get the NB one, which is 99 plus, and it turns into 1 piece. So, and mine was super crusty and old. And then I got Skunk 2 intake manifold, ordered off Drift HQ. This will help the top end. We were really cramming the boost in at the top to make more power, and part of that is probably the reason why it blew up. So this intake manifold is supposed to make like 25 or 30 wheel up top, which should make a bigger power band. We did find out too that we blew the motor because we raised the boost cut a little bit, because when we were shifting, it would spike just a tiny bit while the gate was open, the waste gate was opening. And so we moved the boost cut a little bit. And I hit boost cut basically, and it still ran past it a little bit, hit 30 pounds and broke the rod. So it was probably making over 400. We have fuel and everything for that to make 400, but I think the motor just didn't like what was happening at the time. So unfortunately, but Anyways, we got all the pistons coming. I got 9.5 to 1 compression, 83.5 mil bore, which the stock bore is 83. And I usually go overboard just one step so you can get nice clean cylinder walls. But apparently you don't really need to at the Miata blocks. They're really strong. I'm just coming from BMW and whatnot. So my guy Carlos is building the motors like, you should have got 83s drop in bigger or bigger cylinder walls and all that so you have more meat. I'm like, bro, we're gonna make 300 horsepower, like it's fine. So, or 400 or 500, so I don't know. No, I'm just excited to have a built motor so that I don't have to ramp the boost in. I could just have all the boost hit at 3500 and make it torque and have a bigger, fatter power band and hopefully have a long living motor. Yeah, this is almost all of it. I'm still waiting on the OEM head gasket and some other little parts that are coming in. I've just been trying to get it done as quickly as possible. Carlos has a motor, the machine shop is getting all that stuff done, and then we're gonna put this together. But in the meantime, I can't go a day without having a Miata, so I got the M2-1028 Miata running. So I'll show you guys that. So you may know this from one of our other videos. If you don't, check out the other videos for M2-1028, which is like a 1 of 300 Miata. Unfortunately, this doesn't have a lot of the original M2 stuff on it, but there's enough stuff that's kind of cool. But since our last dyno video, I just kind of rigged up a quick catch can, as you can see there, because it was starting to shoot oil all over the side of the engine bay over here and get on the headers and whatnot. We did get the cable to go into the Motec, and based on the dyno map, we were able to add some timing up top, reduce some in a little bit in the middle, and I put different plugs in it. So it's probably up about 10 horsepower over the last dyno. So that makes this like right at about 140 something on Adam's dyno, which mathematically would mean like 165, 170 on a dyno jet NA, which is pretty good. We just kind of went over everything. I changed the exhaust cam timing a little bit on these cam gears. Then you can see the timing belt right here, fancy Mora. And then we put the Demon campers on. And I didn't realize that the brakes are so huge that I had to run a 20 mil spacer to clear, and it's like this close. This much room on the very inside. So it's got a tiny bit of poke, but it has some more camber available in the lower arm, so I'm gonna do that. Change the oil in it, and then these are new Demon cambers. These are the fronts off my Miata. Obviously saw the goofy Pias that are on the front of that now just for moving it around. Oh, I also got the electric fan working because the fan wasn't working. And it actually ran really good. It was stable at 100C. Then on a couple of the hot days when I was driving, I'd get off the highway and have to sit in traffic a little bit. It would start, creeping. And I'm like, make a U-turn and just start driving to get airflow to it. It was a disaster, but we've been driving a little bit, enjoying it. That way I can have Miata, have some fun with. I need to wash it though. It's been probably 4 months since I washed it. I'm gonna take it for a rip. Let's go. See if it'll overheat with the one fan on there. It seems like it's solid though. This thing has so much mechanical grip. It's crazy. I felt like it was...
You look so beautiful right now.
It's golden hour. It's still shooting juice out of the wheel and tire.
Juice.
Okay, so hopefully Carlos has the motor back from the machine shop. He can assemble it sometime next week and I can get this back in before Long Beach. My goal was maybe to have it running and driving again and ready for break-in before Long Beach. So we'll see. There's a couple other things I want to do while it's out and kind of clean it up and get everything going. But I think obviously it was a great running car that's perfect. And we're not changing really anything outside of the physical long block of the motor and some cleaning up. So I'm excited.